What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label Superman versus Doomsday, and this was a Target exclusive pack that looks really cool, where we have Doomsday, which looks awesome in like his classic comic look. I just love the look of this figure, so I'm excited to check him out, along with a Superman to fight him. So we have a battle damaged Superman with all sorts of tatters on the capes, tears and stuff, and I think the face overall looks really good, especially for Superman we've been seeing lately. It looks really good. Of course, he's just battle damaged and angry is the only issue with that, but looks like has a cool like background we could probably use, like a display type thing, celebrating the 85th anniversary of Superman, which is pretty cool. And if we spin it around to the back, we can see pictures there of like the death of Superman and stuff, so that looks pretty cool. And then look at that picture, Doomsday looks awesome. So pretty cool pack overall, so I'm excited to check this out, mostly for this Doomsday because he looks so cool, but everything about this pack just looks awesome itself. So let me get out of the pack and we'll take a look at it together. So let's start off with Superman from this pack, and of course it's just a normal Superman like we've had multiple times before. He just has the battle damage on him, so we can see, like, especially with his face, that he has the blood there coming out around his mouth. So he's got the blood around his mouth, and then some blood up there on his forehead as well. So love having the blood details on him, and you can see with the main body he's got some scratches here. Of course it's supposed to be showing like his skin underneath where his suit's all torn, but I feel they could have done a little bit color matching to make it look like skin tone instead of like this brownish color. And then we also have like scratches up on his like shoulders there, so we have them on each side, so you can see like the scratches almost look like cat scratches, and on his thigh there as well. And then down on his boots he's got like brown little flecks and stuff, so it looks like mud or something supposed to be all over his boots, so like he's putting in a fight. And of course the biggest thing is his cape on the back that's got all the tatters and tears and everything, so that's like the biggest thing showing that this Superman has been in a fight. So other than that though, he looks just like your normal Superman, looks like Clark Kent, Kal-El, whatever you want to call him. Has the nice hair design. It almost has like the blue wash over, but it almost looks like gray in the camera. But yeah, it's got that blue wash over the black hair as usual. Of course, the normal all blue spandex outfit, the symbol for hope on his chest, red underwear with the yellow belt, and red boots on his feet, and of course that red cape there on his back. So overall, it just looks like your pretty standard Superman, so nothing too special about it, just has that battle damage. But we'll do the movement, so the head can twist all the way around, can look down that far, and can only look up that far, which again, for a Superman, needs to be able to look up really far and can only look up that far, so kind of stinks as usual. The shoulders can come up to 90 with the like little butterfly design in there and rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow, which I know his elbow and some of his joints are pretty stiff, but you got to just kind of work on them, and you can get it to bend up there and can bend all the way up on the itself, so really good. With the wrist that'll twist around and flex on that ball joint there. Then we get the ab crunch in the middle, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around, and then can crunch at the waist and twist all the way around. Then we get the hips that come up, can only go about that far, so under 90, and then out to the side can go that far. No thigh twist, but a double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, which isn't bad. And then we get the foot that flexes back and forth on the ball joint, of course can twist side to side, and has the toe joint on the end. So the standard movements for McFarlane, just has a little bit of stiffness in like the elbows and the knees and stuff. And like I said, overall from like the design and stuff, I absolutely love this. Like, it'd be awesome just to get a Superman like this, just without all the damage and everything, and it'd be like the perfect Superman if we haven't had one already that I'm just forgetting. I just love like the suit and everything about it, just looks absolutely perfect. Like I said, just don't need all the details with the damage and stuff, but perfect looking Superman there. But accessory wise, he comes with some additional hands for flying, so the flat palm hands. So we get the flat palm hands, and then the hands that have grips, and then this hand is all weird. It was like I thought that maybe the package damaged it, but seeing pictures, that's what it looked like. So I don't know what that's supposed to be doing there, but I just thought it was weird for, like a package of two characters fighting each other. He didn't come with any fists at all, but of course we've had plenty of Superman, so I'm sure we can find fists from somewhere, but I just thought it was pretty weird, no fists for a fighting pack. And then of course he comes with the base, but he stands up pretty good without it. And then of course we have his card, which has the cover there from Reign of Doomsday with the Death of Superman design. Now unfortunately this doesn't fit because he of course has the logo on his cape, where this one doesn't have it, so it doesn't fit perfectly, but it's still cool that we're having this, to fit the Death of Superman and stuff, so that's pretty cool. And then store on the back that it's exact same we've seen multiple times for Superman there, so nothing specific to this, but overall a cool looking Superman. And of course with doing this, like messing with the figure and stuff, I thought something seemed familiar about this, so we looked at our other figures and found that it's the exact same figure as this Bizarro version, has the same torn up cape and everything, so obviously switched up the colors, switched out the head and everything, but body wise everything's going to be exactly the same about it, even the cape there. So pretty much the exact same figure there with that Bizarro, just with Superman now. But like I said, the look of the Superman is just almost perfect. And then, of course, we get the star of this pack, which is Doomsday. Now, Doomsday made his first appearance in Superman, the Man of Steel number 17 from November 1992, and he was created by scientists known as Bertrand on ancient Krypton through forced evolution until he was able to defeat any Kryptonian predator, and he eventually escaped containment and made his way to Metropolis, where he encountered the Justice League, whom he easily defeated until Superman arrived, and the two waged war that endangered the citizens of Metropolis, so Superman decided to sacrifice his own life to stop Doomsday. Now, Doomsday has the powers of superhuman strength, speed, and stamina, as well as a super jump, invulnerability, and sharp bones protruding from his arms, hands, legs, chest, and face. And overall looks really cool. Like I said, definitely the standout and star of this pack, and looks really cool. Now, we have had like a Doomsday-like character in the past with Devastator from the Dark Knight's Metal, and it does use some of the same body, but I'm surprised. I thought it'd be, almost the exact same body, just redone to make it look like Doomsday, but there is a lot of variation, and we'll kind of point that out. But overall, he looks really cool. As I said, he's a Kryptonian creature, I guess you'd say Kryptonian, but has all the bones and stuff protruding, so we can see him really up there on his shoulders, and we can see him like with his face. So I love he's got the little face there, but just has all the bones protruding around, even around his eyes there, has the mouth with the big teeth, and I love how on this the mouth opens so you can see like the tongue and stuff in there. But it's really cool that he has the hair pulled up with like the ponytail thing on top of his head and flowing there in the back, and even I guess to be little ears off the side, it's probably just more bones and stuff actually. But then like I said, the bones coming off of his shoulders there, out of his chest in the middle, and all around on his shoulders, on his elbows there, and his fists. A lot of sharp points, especially for moving a figure. It gets kind of pokey, but for fighting and stuff, very dangerous. And then he's got these pants on, because he was a creature completely wrapped in like this green material, so just from head to toe in this green material with the stuff wrapped around him to help keep it contained. But when he escaped, he ended up ripping it off, and especially through fights and stuff. So all that was left was the belt around his waist, and then the bands around his legs as well, and the green boots still on his feet there. So I love how he has shoes on his feet and stuff, but overall he just looks really cool. Now, do the movements, it's going to be hard because like I said, he's very pokey and proddy, and some joints are really stiff, but his head can twist all the way around there. You just got to get it worked around with the hair and the head. You can look down that far and up that far. So pretty decent movements, pretty loose in the head, and then as I showed earlier, the mouth does open and close. Then we go to the shoulders that do bend up. They're real stiff, but can bend up at least that far, so not far from 90. And then of course have the butterfly joint thing in there that go back and forth a little and can rotate all the way around. Then we get the single elbow joints that again are going to be real stiff on this, but can bend up there pretty close to 90 and have rotation in them. And then the wrists will twist all the way around and then have hinge joints in them, but they're pretty stiff once again, so it's hard to really get the movements back and forth. Then we go to the ab crunch in the middle, so crunch back and forth and twist around, and then crunch and twist around at the waist as well. Then we get the hips that can come up to 90 and out to the side, can do the splits pretty much, so pretty loose in the hips there and have a little bit of twist to them. We get the single knee joint that bends back that far and has rotation in it, and then we get the foot that can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So he's a really big bulky character, and like I said, hard to move around. Some of the joints are pretty stiff, and with all the spikes all over him, not easy to do the joints, but he works out and has pretty good joints for such a big figure, and he just looks super cool, and it's like the perfect version of Doomsday. Like, I don't think they could barely do any better. It's like almost perfect. But as I mentioned, we've had a pretty similar version with Devastator. So here's Devastator, and like I said, I thought they'd be a lot of similar, like with similar parts and stuff, but the only thing I can really pick out is probably the arms are pretty similar because they have pretty similar designs and stuff to them all the way to the hands, so they all look pretty similar through there. And then the chest section does look pretty much the same, so still has the same things, just they seem to be more curled. And then of course Doomsday just has this piece of bones on his chest, like covering up where this logo was, but everything else, all the legs and everything else are all different because they're much skinnier. Of course have the shoes and all that sort of stuff, and of course the height difference between the two is crazy. So there is a lot of more difference than I thought there would be with the figure, but like I said, just overall it's almost like the perfect Doomsday, so you couldn't really ask for anything better. So Doomsday overall just looks awesome. Of course accessory wise he comes with a base plate, but again with such big feet and stuff he stands up easily. And then we have his card, so there of course what he looks like from the reign of Doomsday with all the Justice League characters there laying at his feet, so it looks pretty cool overall. And then we have a story, which is kind of what I already went through there, so don't really need to read that again, but just very cool looking overall for this Doomsday. Well, that's me for this Target exclusive DC Multiverse Gold Labor Superman versus Doomsday pack, where we got Superman and Doomsday, both two very cool looking characters. Love the look of this Superman, like I said, almost like the perfect Superman, just has the battle damage. And then Doomsday is such an awesome figure, has some looseness in parts, stiffness in other parts and stuff, so he's a very contradicted figure, but the look wise is almost absolutely perfect, so it's going to be hard to really get anything better for that. So two very cool figures in my opinion with like the perfect look, so couldn't really ask for much better. But let me know what you thought of them down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. But thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.